Most people are shocked that these items sell for this much money. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to show you some items that most people are extremely surprised we can get this kind of money for. A lot of these items we have almost nothing in, and they're items that you can buy for almost nothing as well. You just have to have the eye, you have to dig in, and you have to research just a little bit, and you can score these sorts of items as well. So here's something that may be surprising to many people. These are just shirt buttons. Nothing super special from them from what most people would assume. And they just have a seashell on the front. Now, if you don't know what this actually is, you will miss the whole aspect. I bought these from an antique dealer for less than $1 a piece. I got 80 bucks out of these four, and I still have 6 or 8 more of these online. So I have nothing literally into these. So we got 20 bucks a piece for a shirt button we bought from another dealer. Many of these items are stuff like that. If you didn't know that this was for Dutch shell oil, you'd miss out. This is a transportation button. This would have been on the uniform of the crew on a Shell oil tanker. All the crew members from Dutch Shell would have worn this on their uniform. And that's why it's worth so much money for just something with a seashell on it. Now, this next item's a print ad. It is a piece of paper that was cut out of an old magazine from 1880s. The magazine was trashed out. I paid nothing for it. It was thrown in with a big lot. I cut this ad out as well as many more, and this one did sell for $24.50. It's very cheap paper. It's very small. It was just cut out of something else. Now, Christmas cards I do extremely well with. This is a vintage one, Victorian, a cat looking into a bowl. You've got a frog trying to climb out. Very interesting, very unique image here to say the least. This one went for almost 45 bucks. This one was purchased with postcards at $1. I paid $1 for this one, along with a whole bunch of postcards. Now, I do sell glassware occasionally. I do like barware and things like that. These are Christmas glasses. They're fairly new. I sold 2 of these for 40 bucks. They've been up for a little while. It was a decent discount. Fine with that for the price these went for. And these were a quarter purchase. I had many other ones that I purchased at the same time. As long as I bought all of these glasses, I got them all for a quarter a piece. Now, pencils I've done phenomenally well. This looks like a normal pencil to most people, but this is from the Norfolk and Western Railway Company. This one did sell for $18.50. I didn't pay a thing for this. It was thrown in with a bunch of other items. I bought some pens, all the pencils they let me have because they assumed that they carried no value. So be on the lookout. Even cheap looking items, even items that you would think would be everyday items like a pencil, a plain looking pencil, if it has the right wording on it, can sell for some good money. This pencil looks like almost any other number 2 pencil out there. This is actually number 1, but it looks just like any other pencil you would find in your kids' art supplies or pencil box or anything like that. Went for some good money, as you can see. Now, I do great with posters also. Here's another one. I believe I got 40 bucks out of this one shipped, with shipping included on it. Now, I had a bunch of these. This is literally the last one. This is a knockoff. I don't believe this is a licensed product back in the day. I had 4 different colors of this one and up to 10 of each one, and all of them have sold right now. Now, I paid a couple bucks for the entire stack. Some of them were still in plastic. I had identical ones, as I said. Any of these oddball ones, any of these, I guess, self-published, self-printed ones can do phenomenally well also. Now, some of these were also available in the back of magazines like Famous Monster. So there were many places you could get these sorts of things. Now, one area I do phenomenally well are just vintage old ticket stubs. Now, you can't even tell what the ticket is for. There's no information on it. It's just a stub. And I did sell it for $18.50, shipping included. I literally have nothing into this. I threw a whole bunch of paper junk into a box and actually got it in an estate sale for $5 for everything. So this sort of thing is extremely cheap. So if you don't know there's value in a tiny little ticket stub, you are really missing out. Santa Claus postcards, they do extremely well. This one I took 50 bucks out of. I've got $1 into this one. I bought a whole bunch of Christmas and holiday postcards at $1 each from a sale quite some time ago. I listed them. This one was up for a very, very short period of time. I was fine with 50 bucks because I have almost nothing into it. Now, I love toys. Marx is one of my favorite. Early Marx figures like these presidential ones here can go extremely well. On the side over on the left is Mrs. Eisenhower, and that is part of why this lot here sold also. Now, some of these are made specialty ones like her with her husband, inauguration ones. They were not available with the standard presidential sets. You had to buy them extra or special. There are other ones as well for the First Lady. Most of the time you will never see the First Lady. Many people don't even know they exist. And this came from a huge bulk purchase, so I have literally a few cents in each one of these, and they sold extremely well, as you can see. Now, advertising and business cards I do extremely well. This is basically a large advertising / business card for a land agent out in Kansas before Kansas was very well developed. It's engraved. It's a steel plate or copper plate engraved image. You can feel the ink on it. Excellent, excellent item here. These are fairly scarce, but stuff like this are things people will miss because it's not colorful. There's no real interest in it. It's kind of blah to many people, but to me, this is a work of art, and it's sold for 90 bucks. Now, tobacco advertising items are another area I play heavy in. Anything tobacco related that's vintage early or that has nice artwork, I will nab up. This is another one of those cheapo $1 or less purchases. I bought it with a whole bunch of other things, including some more modern day Christmas and greeting cards. This is for Vera Cigars, and with shipping, I believe we got 45 bucks out of this paper card here. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. It has writing on the back as well. Now, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know I do phenomenally well in stickers. This is just a roller skating label or sticker. This was made to be mounted onto your roller skating case or luggage or just really anywhere you want. And this one did sell for the full price. Now, these were highly collected back in the day. Everybody grabbed them, but they stuck them on something. So when you do find them, they do sell extremely well. And most people also don't understand how scarce these are, which makes them worth money. So even when people see them, they don't buy them many times. Even the bumper stickers for some of the roller skating rinks can go phenomenally well. But again, most people don't want to mess with them, or just don't assume they're worth any kind of money. Now, paper dolls we do phenomenally well in also. Age-wise isn't always a factor. We've sold them all the way up into the 80s and 90s for the same ballpark figures here. This is a specialty one, Diamond Dies. It's just an outfit and the figure, the doll itself. 2 pieces. So if you know what you're looking for, you know the value in the advertising dolls like this, you can really rake out in them. Even newer ones do well. Advertising ones, Star Wars ones from specific movies and things like that are ones I always try to nab up. Here's another button from the U.S. Forest Service. Buttons in general we do phenomenally well. I can date this one by the maker on the back. Most buttons of this type will not be worth 30 bucks, which is what we got out of this one here. Now, we got 30 bucks out of this one because I can date it. This is one of the very first ones ever made for the U.S. Forest Service. It's got the right color, the right tint, the right manufacturer, everything about it. This is one of those quarter purchases you can get out of a big bin of buttons. As long as you know what you're looking for and invest just a little bit of time, you can rake out on these items also. Any type of tobacco or cigarette-related items I love to nab up, like this tobacco silk here. You would have got stuff like this when you purchased tobacco back in the 1910 era. This is for University of Chicago. It's a sports-related set. Most every major college university team had one of these out for each one of their sports. So you can find them track and field, football, baseball, all sorts of different things. We make some phenomenal money on these. We've sold some silks for hundreds of dollars each. This one here we've long since paid for. We've already made several $1,000s off of this purchase. So every one of these going forward is all profit. So I'm fine selling something like this for 75 bucks. We throw a high price on it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Now, campaign items I do phenomenally well. This is a die-cut piece of paper for President Harrison and his wife, and it's doing an advertisement for some paintings for a magazine that she was involved with. This one sold for 50 bucks with shipping included. This is one of those little tiny pieces that no one thinks is worth something that I pay $1 or less for all of the time. And lastly, one more postcard. This is a real photo, a real picture postcard from a college here in Ohio, and it's a pharmacy-related college. The interesting part that sold it is that this gentleman has a human skull-shaped watch fob sticking out of his pocket. That's what I pushed. That's what I advertised. That's why the person purchased this. It is solarized to some extent. That can be knocked off a little bit, but Either way, I'm very happy with the $30 sale on this quarter purchase. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
My favorite fancy fruit is fancy pink grapefruit.
Announcing new fancy fruits from Lifesavers.
This thing tastes exactly like a fancy fruit apple Lifesaver. I wonder what it's called.
Fancy fruits, the candy that doesn't taste like candy. New fancy fruits taste more like real fruit than anything you ever popped in your mouth. Fancy fruits, you get more slices in a longer roll. Picked and packed by Lifesavers.